Shalom. This video is about aging in the Jewish tradition. First, a joke. A Yemenite Jew goes to the doctor at the age of 75 for a checkup, and the doctor says, "My God, you're in great shape. How old are you?" He answered him, 75. Well, 75, you're in such good shape. How old was your father when he died? Well, my father's still alive. He's 98. Your father's 98, still alive? Oh, my goodness. How's he doing? Well, he's great. He's getting married next week. Getting married next week? Why is he getting married at the age of 98? Well, his father wants him to. He's got a girlfriend. The Yemenites have this tradition of extraordinary old age and living healthy lives. But that goes to the Jewish idea of life itself as a value. In fact, when the Jew raises a cup to celebrate wine or grape juice, we say l'chaim, to life. So how do we understand life? In fact, Jews usually say, my age is so-and-so till 120. It's another joke about a guy who was supposed to testify in court, old Yiddish guy, and the judge says, how old are you? And the man says, I'm 89 till 120. The judge says, no, just how old are you? I'm 89 till 120. The judge said, don't answer that way. Just answer exactly what I ask you. And the man in the back says, Judge, let me ask him, and then I can solve the problem. Mister, till 120, how old are you? And the guy said, 89. Or guy says, how do you get to be 120? Get to be 119 and then be very careful. Well, this video is about aging and what we've learned about aging and what the Jewish views are. First of all, a lot of people who are older will say old age is not for sissies, or it's tough to be old and body starts falling apart. So what is the Jewish thinking and wisdom about that? First of all, why does that happen? Well, we know that's the laws of nature, but spiritually why? Can we learn anything of value from it? There's a great midrash about the first time the word zakein is used in the Torah, which means old. It's used in the context of Abraham. This is Abraham zakein ba bayamim. Abraham got old and he came to his days. So why does it have to say both zakein and ba bayamim? And here's why it introduced the word zakein. Abraham and Isaac were walking along, and until that point, people didn't show their age. They just got older. And Abraham said that no one knew who was older, and no one knew who they should pay respect to, the father or son. Who was the father, who was the son? So God said, well, the only way I could fix that, to let them know who's older, is that you'll feel older. And Abraham said, you know, the value of honoring the elderly is so important that I think even though it'll have a consequence that will feel older, you should do it. And God changed the laws of nature at that time. Now, obviously, that's not a scientific story. It's a story about a value of honoring the elderly. And just to make sure we don't miss the point, in Leviticus we're taught, Lifnei Seva Takum, you should rise before the hoary head, the older person, V'hadarta Panei Zakem, and honor the face of the elderly. Commandments in Judaism. And there are some great statements in Proverbs and Psalms about this. Teach me to number my days so I may attain a heart of wisdom. That with aging supposedly comes wisdom, but that God should teach us to number our days, to take each day as something significant and meaningful, to learn from it. But also we're taught, do not forsake me in my old age. The concern that old people are considered to be by some not in the mainstream anymore, and so this is a very important caution to don't forsake them in their older age. And we have the mitzvah of honor your father and mother, which generally teaches the respect is due to the elderly, to people that are older than us. In fact, the Mishnah from 2,000 years ago has an obligation or a responsibility at every age of life, and it has a special word reserved for people who are 60 and 70 and 80. It says is the age of gibur, special strength, a notion that with increased age can be increased vitality and still very important, powerful values that can help teach society. So this is the general idea about aging in Judaism, the importance of honoring the elderly, the ability of the elderly to teach and guide, the idea that they should be people at all ages, no matter what, should be constantly learning. So what have we learned from science and the study of aging that can help us in this regard? Well, first of all, there's a serious pharmaceutical company called Sirtris, which claims that they're developing a drug which will help fight lots of diseases. And the only bad side effect will be, it's not bad at all, will be increased lifespan. And this is not some quacky pharmaceutical company, this is a well-regarded Harvard scientist. So there may be a pill soon which will be able to do this. But certainly there's a lot of wisdom now about what we can do to help improve aging. There's a growing body of scientific knowledge that growing old doesn't have to mean frailty, that frailty is a preventable and perhaps treatable condition. Studies have shown that weight training strengthens muscles even in very old individuals, reduces inflammation, and helps prevent falls. And there's now launching a definitive study to determine if a combination of aerobic exercise, weightlifting, and balance training can help frail, sedentary individuals. Exercise. In fact, I saw an article that said there's 137 different measures of true age. Not asking somebody how old they are, but what's their true age. And those factors include the things I mentioned: exercise, it includes eating well and vitamins, it includes keeping stress to a minimum. Do you smoke? Do you keep on learning? In fact, older people, according to studies, who visit museums, play musical instruments, play chess, have a schedule packed with brain-stimulating but fun activities, are less likely to develop dementia, including Alzheimer's, a new study found. So keeping your mind active. Do you laugh? Humor is known to be an anti-aging activity. Do you floss? The real-life age says that if you floss regularly, you decrease your real age by over 6 years. Do you visit the doctor regularly? Do you buckle up? Do you think positively? Listen to this. Thinking negative thoughts about getting old and you will age more quickly. If you think good thoughts about aging, you'll likely stay healthier and live longer. One study showed that people 70 and older who had negative thoughts or beliefs about aging had poor memories as the years passed. And that, in fact, it said those with positive views live a median of 7 years longer, even after taking into account differences in age and health. So thinking positively. And of course, religion. The studies clearly show that people that are more religious, that pray more regularly, attend their church or synagogue, study the Bible, have lower levels of stress, lower blood pressure. Then you ask, which city in Israel has the highest average lifespan? And you add to it the fact that it's the poorest city in Israel per capita. It's got to be the religion, because it's Bnei Brak, the longest lived city per capita, is the most religious city and also the poorest city. So I'm not recommending poverty here, I'm recommending religion. So you think about all of those qualities that can affect our real age. I love the story about a rabbi who was asked in an interview for a position in a pulpit, what age do you deal better with? And he said, I deal best with young people of all ages. And clearly the Jewish idea is that we get older, and there is respect due as we get older. It's incumbent upon society not to forsake the elderly. The elderly have to learn wisdom continually as they grow. And these various devices can help forestall the aging process, or can help you have your real life age lower than your chronological age, to live with zest and vitality and religion and purpose. But of course the end comes when none of us are immortal. We're all mortal. And then we move on to the world to come. But while we're here, our job is to live as healthily as we can, as Maimonides teaches over and over, so that we are better able to love God and do more commandments.